Alrighty, so as I told you already here, yesterday Blizzard at BlizzCon announced the new Hearthstone expansion, and the new Hearthstone expansion will be a decent of dragons. We're gonna go into the dragons and gonna have a lot about the new dragon cards coming up for the new expansion. So as it was the year of the dragon and we actually didn't really have much of the dragons in the last two expansions, it seemed to now have that we now really gonna get a lot of dragons coming in Hearthstone. And what also will be coming in with the new expansion are some of the more new mechanics. We're gonna get Invoke, what is a very supportive mechanic towards towards hero cards mainly, or towards Galakron, for example, that we will go later to. Side quests are coming in the game as well, but will be a new mechanic, kind of like small quests. And hero cards, there will be some hero cards coming back as well in this new expansion, what is gonna be I hope very amazing as well, as it is one of the more favorable mechanics, at least that I have, or the more unique cards that I have. And to also just get a first impression already a little bit of what the new cards are all gonna be about. A lot of cards already have been revealed, and I want to talk about the new cards that have been revealed. The new cards that have been revealed here so far, and let's just start here. The first card is Galakron. Galakron is the new hero card, or one of the new hero cards that is revealed already here for Rogue. And it has a 7 mana, 5 armor mechanic, Battle Cry, draw 1 card, it costs 0, invoke twice to upgrade. So once you play an info card, for example this one, the Shield of Galakron, it invokes the Galakron already as a 5 mana 4/5 taunt, Battle Cry, invoke. And then the invoke mechanic is basically just a supportive mechanic. Also, all the new hero cards, guys, are gonna have a new hero power as well. And for Galakron, that will be add a lackey to your hand. So 2 mana, add a lackey to your hand. Not as insane as, for example, the old school hero cards where you could just game win directly once you have it. This one is more it's like a 7 mana big draw tool, and then also having a very reasonable hero power. So it does more directly for the cost it does, but it is less game winning in a way from there directly. But you can then also grind here a little bit of extra value in the late game, where, for example, the Rogue Dagger gets kind of weaker, and now you can add a lackey to your hand, what can be very cool. But Galakron is the first hero card that has been revealed, and very hard to say yet how good the mechanic will be, because I don't know how many info cards we will have. If you can upgrade Galakron, obviously, with a lot of info cards that are going to be really good, and you can draw a lot of cards that cost 0. Don't forget, guys, they are costing 0, nada, nothing. So it has a very big potential if you can invoke this, and you can 7 mana, draw 3 cards, they cost 0. And you suddenly can also take over the board. So it's not like you play this hero card and you lose tempo. You probably are going to generate tempo while playing a Galakron. So it has really good potential. It's really hard to say yet how many info cards we gonna get. But the mechanic can definitely, this one is really strong if the info cards are gonna be good. You can kind of compare this a bit to Togvogel, in my opinion, as it has this cost 0 effect. But yeah, and Togvogel depends on lackeys. Well, this one will depend more on the invoke. Here, another info card that we have just specifically for Rogue. 3 mana, deal 3 damage to an undamaged charger, invoke Galakron. So kind of a not so great removal in my opinion. A Rogue definitely doesn't want to play deal 3 mana, deal 3 damage in a way. But definitely the Taunt one has a bit better potential in my opinion. And we will see later also regarding the invoke mechanic in general. Next up, guys, Ysera. We gonna have a second Ysera in Hearthstone. It rolls you a lackey. I know. I got that part. It adds a lackey to your hand with the hero power, right? Yes. Next up, Ysera Unleashed. New Ysera coming in. in the game, and it will be the Druid legendary of the mechanic. Oh, invoke activates the hero power. Ah, so we can like invoke it too as a new hero power. Okay, that's good to know. Ysera, let's move on, guys. We'll get to that one later again with a new card. Ysera Unleashed, 9 mana for 12, of course having the Ysera stat line. Shuffle 7 Dream Portals into your deck. When drawn, summon a random dragon. So, I think this is going to be a really good legendary. 9 mana for 12 with a battle cry, so every time you play 8 mana, 9 mana, 10 mana cards, it's very, very important, guys, that you get yourself actually a really, really strong effect going. Death Rattles, all these kind of mechanics are normally too slow, but Battle Cry can be very strong. And shuffle 7 Dream Portals into your deck. When drawn, summon a random dragon. Obviously, the dragon pool is like very, very like diverse in a way. But there are some really, really, really strong dragons like Deathwing, Ysera itself, or like Nosdormu, or Onyxia. Like all these big boy dragons that are in the game are very like game winning, and especially this. Like I think this can just be a card that can just win games. It has the value potential that if it gets played, and all the value you will get afterwards in the game is going to be really high. Like of course there is like, it's a little bit of like RNG involved in the way of like what dragons you will get. But 9 mana 4/12, shuffle the dragons into your deck, especially if you can ramp up a little bit. Of course, the problem with a card like this is I wish it had Taunt. If this card had Taunt, it would be amazing. So that might be a little bit the problem, if like, same problem as like Ysera in general. It's just too slow to play on the board. And that's a little bit my worry with this deck as well. Is it going to be too slow to play work? Because what I am looking for in this expansion, guys, is I want dragons with Taunt. I want dragons, because dragons are always having good stat lines. I want dragons that are not just there on the board with a good stat line. I want them to like force your opponent to also respect the dragons. And a lot of the times when people will say this, see this card on the board, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm going face. So I hope that will be also the case, because otherwise I think this card will just be too slow. Next up, Lightning Breath, a Shaman card here as a removal. 3 mana, deal 4 damage to a minion. So 3 mana, 4 damage to a minion is already like quite solid, kind of like Shadow Bolt mechanic. If you're holding a dragon, also damage its neighbors. So suddenly can also now damage the neighbors as well as like a more betrayal effect. Actually, guys, it's kind of like a baby Flame Strike in a way, as it just like for 3 mana can already like remove so well. And I think this card is really strong, like really strong. Like already without having the dragons, it's already decent, and then it suddenly becomes like a Flame Strike kind of mechanic. I would say that, like, I don't know if dragons in Shaman are going to be like a thing, but it definitely like has like good potential to like, maybe if like there is like like the dragons are going to be really good, then it's obviously going to be also very good in the Shaman here. So we'll see, but this card is a very, very strong card if dragons are becoming a thing. Okay, and here we have the Emerald Explorer, 6 mana, 4/8. Taunt, discover a dragon. Very interesting card as well. So this is kind of what I was talking about. Dragons are having very often good stat lines, but what I'm missing is like that they are having Taunt. 6 mana, 4/8 is actually a really good stat line. And also discover a dragon as well. Like discover, not just draw a dragon, add a dragon, like discover a dragon. This card feels really strong to me. Kind of reminds me a little bit on like Secret Agent. Like this card doesn't even need a dragon and it still does this already. This card feels really good to me. Very strong card, very strong like everywhere card. Also insanely gonna be super strong in Arena, for example. I definitely think this is an like, this is what Dragon needs, guys. Cards like this, like good stat line, Taunt, high value. If dragons need to become a thing, you kind of need it. I rate this card hard, high, 4 out of 5. Let's do star ratings. 4 out of 5. Face Stalker, 2 mana, 2/3. After you use your hero power, cast a secret from your deck. So, very reasonable stat line for a 2-drop already. 2 mana, 2/3 is a very nice stat line. It's a beast, but obviously is something that Hunter really likes. After you use your hero power, cast a secret from your deck. So, kind of like imagine a turn 4 play. You play this and you hero power, and then you cast a red trap. You cast a pressure plate. I suppose you cast it and the effect happens. Am I correct on that? Or is it cast as... No, then it's like play a secret, or it's like summon a secret. It's not like I didn't get the secret on the board. Like, if you can do this, and you like cast a secret, and you cast red trap, and you get a 6/6, that's OP. Or is it just it puts the secret on the board? Like, what is the cast meaning? It puts it on board. Most likely on board. Okay. So 2 mana, 2/3, kind of like play a secret. Very comparable then in a way to the mass contender that doesn't need a secret support. Okay. But pretty good. Like, because you also hero power, guys, it's not like you're wasting your 2 mana much. You still deal like the hero power, and then it like puts a secret on the board. But it's very nice. Can generate you quite some tempo as well. Pretty decent card. 3 out of 5. 3/5. Next up, Drellerfun Sharpshooter. Your hero power can target minions. 1 mana, 1/3, Hunter card. 1 mana, 1/3 is a really solid stat line, and your hero power can target minions. That is actually a very strong card for Hunter. Because the hero power of Hunter deal 2 damage. If you can deal 2 damage to minions, guys, imagine just dealing 2 damage to like a 2-drop or anything. Like, it's a super strong mechanic. To do that. And especially in the early game, you play this turn 1, your opponent wants to contest with a minion, and suddenly you can just snipe the minions away. And also the stat line of this card is like 1 mana, 1/3. So the stat line is like very, very good of the card already. But like 1 mana, 1/3s are very good stat lines. But I think can really make this card like even better. I am not sure if there are much Hunter decks that really want to play this, but even in like a Highlander Hunter for example, it's kind of good. I rated 3 out of 5. Because I am not sure if it's going to get played. In a lot of decks I will rate this 4 out of 5. But in Hunter I'm like, will it be like something that Hunter wants much? So we'll rate it 3 out of 5. Next up, Dragonbane. The Hunter legendary of the set. 4 mana, 3/5. After you use your hero power, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. 4 mana, 3/5, very good stat line already. And after you use your hero power, deal 5 damage, guys, to a random enemy. Do you know how strong that is? How OP? Can you imagine just going for like a turn 6, 4 mana, like 3/5, and then you just hero power, so you deal 2 damage, and then you deal 5 damage. Like, compare it just to like anything like a fire elemental, but then just like an even better removal, what is like very, very good. I think this card is like super nuts. Like, really good. It's also a thing. It's all these after your hero power cards, what seems to be a thing in the expansion, is a very like mechanic you can compare to Inspire. Because it is not something that is just done, guys, after using it one time. It's not a battle cry. It just can keep going. Like, this card can just snipe everything away at some point. It's a 4-drop, guys. It's not like a 6-drop, a 9-drop. And having this, like, especially at turn 6, and having the mechanic of like dealing 5 damage to a random enemy is like really strong. It is the same thing. It is indeed like the same thing. So I think it's like, this card is really nuts. It's also a mech, so it's even like you can even magnetic this card in a way. Like, oh my god, guys. I rate this card, I will rate it 5 stars. 5-star card. Super good. Twin Tyrant is another new card here. 8 mana, 4/10. Deal 4 damage to 2 random enemies with as a battle cry effect. 8 mana, 4/10. So kind of interesting dragon here as well. Another dragon with like a more battle cry effect. So what's kind of like very important for these kind of cards. Very strong, like very strong mechanic. I'm trying to compare this card a bit to Primordial Drake, if I can do. Probably not as good as Primordial Drake. Very insane card, by the way, like in arena style. Like, this card's going to be like super busted in arena. Deal 4 damage to 2 random enemies. It's so hard for me to say where the dragon direction goes. Like, all these dragons seem kind of like quite decent, but are they gonna be like game winning? I think this card is like decent. It's a bit comparable to like Betterhead as well, kind of style. It doesn't have Taunt. I wish this card had Taunt. I will rate it... It's a pretty decent card, but I don't know if it sees play. Like, the card is too neutral to see play. I will rate it 2 stars for Constructed. I will rate it 4 stars for Arena. Next. Lots of dragons are coming in. Phases Dragonoid. 7 mana, 7/7. Can't be targeted by spells or hero powers with Taunt. So here, very interesting Taunt as well. It has the mechanic of like can't be targeted. What means it really has to like get like damage by by minions. So suddenly like removals like Hex don't work or like hero powers don't work. Makes like quite a lot of things like worse. Also the stat line on this card is really good for that mechanic. We have had familiar cards like Socket, for example, back in the day. What was more a 9-drop. What was not really getting played much, but was a decent card. And but this card is like 2 mana cheaper. What is gonna be, I think, really, really good. Still can of course get like wrecked by some AoE cards. Let's say Light Bomb, let's say Earthquake. Like AoE cards still have like a very good effect on this, but let it like dodges cards like Polymorph, like Hex is definitely very relevant. Won't dodge Severs, of course. Severs will probably, I suppose, give like Deadly Shot or anything. But it's a decent card. Definitely a card that I think if more spell-based decks are very popular in the meta, it's a card you want to play. And I will rate it 3 stars. Here another card actually for the Galagrond, for the Rogue. Give a minion +1 attack, invoke a Galagrond. So, invoke mechanic, let me actually see if we can get more information on that. We can't, guys. But invoke is like a supportive mechanic towards like the hero cards that we're having. And it's like, it either supports the hero power or it supports like the card in general with like the way it upgrades. I think it is like depending on the way it like it gets played. But give a minion +1 attack for 1 mana and then invoking is actually it's pretty decent. The hero power of Galvanoid is like 2 mana, add a Lackey to your hand. So it just gives you a Lackey. 1 mana, give a minion +1 attack, give you a Lackey. That's like the way you should read it. As like the Galvanoid is played. I think it's like a decent card. Yeah, probably like 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5. I will rate it 3 stars. Next up, Umbral Skulker, Battle Cry. If you have invoked twice, add 3 coins to your hand. 4 mana, 3/3. As an also invoke, not an invoke card itself, but Battle Cry. If you have invoked this game, add 3 coins to your hand. Obviously, Rogue has like a lot of potential with coins. And of course, guys, if you play this card on 4, you get 3 coins. And the next turn you can play an 8-drop. That's pretty nutty, you know? That's very, very, very good. I would say that a card like this, like if there is enough early game info cards, let's say like 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop kind of cards, or like mana cards, and you can play this on 4 and you have the potential to like play this early, it's gonna be very good. So I think this card has a lot of potential because like ramping early into like an 8-drop or something can be like, or the hero card can be like super strong. Not sure how that will be for Rogue though, because Rogue is not that kind of like minion based deck for this. But I think it has like good potential in that. I'm very like sold on this card that actually has like good potential. Of course, it's about like how good this invoke are gonna be and how many invoke cards we're gonna get, but I will rate it 3.5 stars. That's what I will think. Next up, when I saw this card, guys, I was like, wow. When I now see this card, I am like, wow. Breath of Dreams. 2 mana, draw a card. If you're holding a dragon, gain an empty mana crystal. This is a wild growth, an old school wild growth that's back, but better. gain an empty mana crystal if you're holding a dragon. Draw a card. So you gain a mana crystal and draw a card for 2 mana. I mean, that's just busted, guys. Like, you get your wild growth and draw a card. I have no idea how this card has like came to existing, because this card is like really busted, in my opinion. Especially if like, of course, if like dragons are gonna get played. But wow, what a card, guys, to play like in like a dragon druid deck, or like into like this kind of a druid style. We don't know all the dragons that are coming out, guys, but what I can say is this card is nuts. For me, 5 stars. Not even doubting it. Super strong card. Really strong. 2 mana, gain an empty mana crystal is already something that Druid wants to play. Draw a card with it. Like, I will already play it without, probably. So, really, really, really strong card for Druid. Very strong card. Busted. Next up is the other Galacrond card, and this one is for the Warlock. Warlock is also here getting the Galacrond, and what Warlock is getting is Galacrond the Wretched, Battlecry, summon 1 random demon, invoice twice to upgrade. So, does that mean invoke twice to upgrade? It will then summon 2 random demons, guys? Is that how we should update it? The upgrade part? Oh, did I say invoice? Invoke. Yes, okay. 1, 2, 4, and then it maxes out at 4. Okay. So, and then we have here the hero power from Galvanoth, summon 2 1/1 imps as like summon hero power here. They're all 1, 2, 4. Okay. Good. Summon 1 random demon. So, for its summon demons is like the range of demons is actually kind of wide. You have a lot of like cheap demons, 1/1, 3/2, 1/3, Voidwalker. Like there are actually a lot of bad demons in a way. And then you have some mid-range demons and like maybe 1 or 2 like really big demons that you can play. I'm a little worried about this card, as I don't really think this card is like that strong. Summoning random demons is like, it's gonna be kind of like a baby spellstone in a way, that you like summon 3 just very mediocre things in a way. Or like it depending on how much you have invoke. For me, this card will really depend on how good are the Warlock or the info cards, especially for Warlock. Because I don't think this card is that great. But if the info cards are going to be like really good for Warlock, well then suddenly of course we're going to play it. So it's, for me, it's more depending on that. The hero power of is summoning 2 1/1 ins. I don't think it's that great. It's okay. It's kind of like an old school Odd Paladin hero power. And maybe there will be like some demon synergy here and there. But the current demon synergy is really poor in Warlock. So I don't really see it at the moment that this card will be like getting a lot of play. I would rate it for now. I would rate this Galvarok 2 stars. Sorry Warlock, but this is not the card that I feel is gonna make you get back in the game. Next up is the Dragonlight Cultist here for Warlock. 3 mana 1/1, invoke Galvarond, gain +1 attack for each other friendly minion. Oh, this card is so bad. Like, what is this, guys? 1 HP. 3 mana 1, gain +1 for each other friendly minion. I mean, let's say you have 4... Let's say you have 4 friendly minions. What is the dream? It becomes a Magma Rager. As upside. It's probably more often gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be a 3/1. Invoke first, wait. This summons 2 1/1 imps. So also it summons invoke Galvarok. But does it only summon guys when you have equipped Galvarok? Or do you need to have Galvarok active and then it works? Or is it already working when it's just in your deck? Because Galvarok is 7 mana, guys. You don't need it active. Okay, I didn't know that part. That makes the info card actually more different. I did not know that. Just in your deck. Okay, I missed that part. Alright, that makes it a little different. So it's kind of like Katoon kind of mechanic, invoke. It buffs while just being in your deck. So I missed this. Okay, that made the like the rogue one actually also like what I said about rogue actually is a little bit wrong as well. Because I did not know this is the way that it works like Katoon. Still, this card is bad. It's not making this card better, okay? I mean, it makes it a bit better because it like summons 2 tokens. It makes it better. I wanted to rate it 1 star, but now I'm actually rating it like better. It will, now it's actually like a 3 star because it kind of summons 2 1/1s as well. So it summons 2 1/1s and then you gain a plus attack. So it's like, it's gonna be like a 3/1 with 2 1/1s and maybe sometimes a Magma Rager with 2 1/1s. What is way better, much better. So, well, this one is kind of fine. We'll go shortly back, guys, to the rogue card then, actually. Because then, like, Battle Cry of, like, drawing a card and the invoke mechanic of adding a lackey to your hand, I think that makes the rogue one better. It makes the rogue one 4 stars. I like the rogue one a lot, actually. This, the rogue one actually, if that even, like, also works like that you add a lackey, for rogue, really good. Alright, and here we were. Next up, Fieldness Rights. Invoke Galvarot. Give your minions +1 attack. So, really seems to be the Galvarot mechanic for the Warlock. Really seems to be like a more zoo mechanic. It is based on like getting tokens going, get plus attack going, everything around that. This card is not so great. I think 2 1/1s give a little +1. I rate this card 2 stars. I think it's a weak card. It's not good. It's hard to make it going. It's only good in specific spots. It gives like +1s. It summons like 2 2/1s as well, so it's okay. But I'm not so convinced on the cards like this. Like they are too... They're not flexible that much and they are just all doing that same thing. I don't think it's that great. And here, 4 mana 5/4. If you have invoked twice, draw 3 cards. Okay. If you have invoked twice, draw 3 cards. 3 cards. And that's good. Now we're talking for Warlock. Because that's really good. Imagine like playing cards like this, especially this one, and you can follow it up like this. Like a zoo kind of style for Warlock, guys, is actually gonna be like, this card will be like super busted in like zoo. You play like early demons, you play your invoke cards, and you have cards like this that just draw 3 cards. Like, in a way, this is like a baby ultimate infestation. 4 mana 5/4, really good body for 4 mana, definitely. Draw 3 cards. This card is nutty. And this card is not too slow, I think. This card is really good. So, I am not completely sold because especially the Warlock Invoke cards don't really impress me much. But this card is really good. We'll see how good it will be though for like the Invoke. Like, I would rate this card kind of like 4 stars, how good it is. But like the Invoke mechanic just makes me like kind of a little worried for Warlock. Then I will maybe like rate it more like 3 stars. So it's like I will rate it 3.5 stars for now. Depending too much on what other info cards, neutral info cards we're gonna see. Next up, the Galvergrond, and this time for Priest. Battlecry. Destroy 1 random enemy minion. Ooh, removal. Invoke twice to upgrade. And the hero power. Add a random priest minion to your hand. A priest minion. Ooh, that's kind of slow. Add to your hand. So where the Warlock has a mechanic of like summon 2 1/1s, what is a fast mechanic. This one is like kind of like, oh, we get a random thing in our hand. So what can make it obviously good is like if you go for a more Talanyi style, where you can like get a lot of random minions going, then you play Talanyi and you summon all the random minions. So I'm directly thinking of like a nice combo deck here with Priest, and that can be like very good because Talanyi is like a game-winning card in a way. Also, the mechanic of destroy 1 random enemy minion is very good. That's a really good battle cry. So you can like play it, you wait for like two minions, for example, then you remove it. So gonna be very strong as well in that way. I think this card is like, it's pretty good. It's pretty nice. And let's see. I would rate it like 3 stars for now, but I also want to see a little bit more about the info cards for Priest to like give a good review. Devoted Mechanic is actually a neutral info card, so an info card that is playable in everything. 4 mana 2/2 Rush. Pretty decent. It has Rush, what makes it like tradable. So you can sometimes like high roll a very good trade and then you still invoke Galfrock. So you get like for the Warlock you get tokens or you get a Lecky for the Rogue. I think a card like this is definitely... It's very comparable to like, let's say, Cthulhu's Chosen that we had for Cthulhu. It was not the most insane card. It was maybe a little bit under the value of what you wanted. But hey, it got played because it just buffed your Cthulhu. And I think this is kind of the same play. I don't think this card is that sick, but it's definitely fine. So you're gonna play it probably in your Galakron decks as well. I will rate it... I rate it 2 stars. Next up, Time Rip. 5 mana, destroy a minion, invoke Galagrond again. Removal for the priest. So 4 mana, destroy a minion, assassinate effect. With an invoke. Time Rip. I like the name, Rip. It's actually pretty decent. I mean, there are some issues that Priest has with removals. I mean, Priest has really good removals, but you can like play this instead of like a Shadow or Death. The mana thing is not really a thing for Priest much. So I think this card is like decent. It fits like in some more like a bit more like control style Priest decks. I rated 3 stars. For Priest, these cards are like decent. It's not like necessarily needed, but you can just play this instead of a Shadow or Death and it's fine. Fate Reaver is another, and actually here a dragon card for Fate Reaver. 4 mana, 3/6 Battle Cry. If you have invoked twice, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. Interesting. So very good stat line here for a 4-drop. 4 mana 3/6s are always like very strong stat lines. And reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. Depending, of course, like how wide you go, how good this is. I don't think for Priest this is that great. If like reduce the hand cost much, because Priest kind of plays a lot with their mana playstyle. But like it's kind of a Torison effect. You should see this as like a Torison, but it's definitely something that any deck wants to play. Can play your Galvanad earlier, actually can play Mass Resurrections earlier, and I think that is a deck card that you might play in this kind of style as well. So it actually can be very good. I hope Dragon Priest can be a thing. I wish that we can make Dragons a thing and then also Dragon Invoke Priest. Hey, who knows guys, I have good hopes. I rate this card... I rate it 3 stars for now. I will rate it 4 stars. It's quite good. It's just if I'm not too sold on Invoke in Priest. Alright, next up. Toxic Reinforcement. Side quest, use your hero power 3 times. Very important to know with side quests, guys. Side quests are not starting in your opening hand. So they are just cards you draw during the game. Use your hero power 3 times. Reward summon 3 1/1 leopard gnomes. Oh, okay. I see. I mean, they nerfed Leopard Gnome, guys. Let's see. Side quest, use your hero power 3 times. Summon 3 Leopard Gnomes. Very smork quest. Super smork. Like, the only deck you want to play this in, guys, is in like complete Face Hunter. You just click hero power, and now you click hero power, and you're like, ha ha ha! I also get 3 Leopard Gnomes that deal damage. I'm not sold on this card at all. Because it doesn't really start in your opening hand. Also, Leopard Gnomes, they used to be good. Now they are like meh, as they are 1/1s. So, and also using hero power in early games is like really bad in general. I rate it, I cannot rate it high, guys. I will rate it 2 stars because I see so many Smork fans here in the stream that like this card. So, but I'm generous here. I rate it 2 stars. Next up, Learn Dragonic is the side quest here for Mage. Side quest, spend 8 mana on spells, reward, summon an 8 mana, is 6/6 dragon. Okay, this is a good one. So this is a very good quest, because it's 1 mana. Actually, this is kind of busted, because it is 1 mana that you have to spend to get a 6/6. It's comparable to words like a red trap, but then like you can choose it or you work towards it. So it's a more consistent one. Like, I actually think this card is better than red trap. Quite better than red trap. Also summon 8 mana on spells is very durable for Mage. Mage has good spells. This card is good. This card is really good, guys. Oh my god. This card is really nice. It's just like you're working, you play spells, you play removal, and suddenly you have a 6/6 dragon. It's a really good card. Very strong. 4 stars. Super good card for Mage. And next up, Ysera Explorer. 4 mana, 2/3 dragon. Spell damage +2. Battlecry, discover a dragon. Ooh. Interesting card here. How do we rate this? So stat line, obviously a little undervalue. Very cute card as well, guys. Look at this cute dragon. Stat line is a little undervalue, of course. Then you have like discover a dragon. So you have 4 mana, 2/3 discover. What's pretty good. Discover a dragon for 4 mana, 2/3 stat line. Discover a dragon. And then you have the spell damage bonus as well, what might have some upside. Trying to compare this card to Ysera Drake, but you cannot really much. A bit. Just thinking where it's like kind of an... Where do you want to play this card in? Like, it's not like that flashy of a card and I'm like, bam, I played in this. Like, we don't have enough information if like Dragon Mage or something can be a thing. So I would say I rated 3 stars. It's too like in arena style kind of cards, these are really good and constructed. It's just, is it gonna make the cut? Maybe it makes it in Highlander, maybe it doesn't. Don't think Reno Mage would currently play cards like this, because it's just not good enough to just discover for 4 mana. It's just too slow. Like, what you need with this card is, I will play this card if there is like a Dustbreaker around or Primordial Drake, like the good AoE cards that have like strong effects. That's what we need. Next up is the Primordial Explorer. Poisonous, Battlecry, discover a dragon. Ooh, 3 mana, 2/3 poisonous, discover a dragon. That's a good card. It's like a Cobra, but then with discover a dragon. These discover... Wow, there are some really good discover a dragon cards, guys. It's like it's so cheap suddenly. Like, it really reminds me on the more old school, the dragon expansion, and then where... But like 4 mana, 2/3, like the value that you generate is so insane. This card is good. Good stat line. And if you can make dragons work... I mean, I'm not so sold on dragons in like Hunter at all. Like, do you want to go Dragon Hunter and play Amaris? No. So, I don't know what dragons we're gonna get to make this work, but or to make like a dragon deck, but just 3 mana, 2/3, discover a dragon is kind of good. So, I rate it 4 stars. Ooh, and here the Mage Legendary. Malygos, Aspect of Magic. 4 mana, 2/8. Okay. Battlecry, if you're holding a dagger, discover an upgraded mage spell. Discover an upgraded mage spell. I am not completely sold on what it means as like a discover an upgrade. Oh, did I say 4 mana? 5 mana, sorry. 5 mana, 2/4. I don't know exactly what they mean as discover an upgraded mage spell. But Fireball, 8 damage. 1 mana polymorph. Alright, so it seems to be like standard mage spells, but they all have like upgrades in it. So Arcane Intellect draws 4. Okay, so effects seem to be like doubled a bit, or like increased, or like reduced in mana. 8 damage Flame Strike. So it seems to be like some very like strong cards that you can actually get out of this. And it's also a discover. So it's like Kind of like double damage, except fireball, I guess. And then like double draw mechanics and like reducement on removals as well. Pyro 20 damage. Only basic spells. This does not include the classic spells, I think, or like not too much. So very 5 mana 2/8. Get a very upgraded spell. Definitely a card I will play in Dragon Mage. Very strong. A little bit in a way comparable to Sephir's, but Sephir's is like way more flexible in that way. I'm just thinking if there is a way that you can maybe like make a Dragon Mage around this. I rate it 4 stars. We need to see just a bit more, guys, of the expansion, because the dragons, we got quite some good dragons, but can we just make Dragon Mage now, suddenly? I am not sold on that yet, so we need like to see a bit more of that information. Like maybe you can play this in, for example, Highlander Mage, but it is like having the requirement of if you are holding a dragon. So it can be good. I can see it like make the cut. Next up is the Warrior Legendary Deathwing Mad Aspect. Wow. 8 mana 12/12. Attack all other minions. What is this card, guys? This card is insane. My first impression. 8 mana 12/12. Attack everything. So especially against like kind of token based decks. Like it's very good. So the difference is, like, this card is not very comparable to Deathwing, actually. This card is more comparable to Betterhead. Betterhead is 8 mana 3/12. And you can, like, attack again if you kill creatures. This one also attacks all other minions. So it was, like, the very similar. The only problem is you can't choose what it attacks first. And you also cannot... what you also cannot do is you can maybe have like a very bad attack. The upside is of course the power is much stronger. Also, what I have been thinking of, guys, Mogu Evolve just became so much better. Oh my god, you can evolve into this. If you think evolving into 8 is already OP, guys, you can now evolve into 12/12. Oh my god, they buffed Shaman. A Shaman buff. Oh no. I mean, Mutate still works, guys, but Evolve will be gone, thankfully. Also, don't forget, guys, this attacks all other minions, so it also attacks your minions. I still think this card is very good in Warrior. I think Warrior really likes this. So, I would rate it 4 stars. I think this card is actually pretty nice. But there is like, at the first start it looks completely OP in my opinion, and then you think about it a bit more, then you're like, yeah, it's a good card. I would rate it 4 stars. Let's think about this card, guys, for a moment. Waxa Dread, the new Rogue Legendary. 5 mana 7/5, shuffle a candle into your deck that resummons Wax Dread when drawn. Wax Dread Candle is just a 5 mana, when it gets drawn, it summons it. So 5 mana 7/5. Death Rattle that it kind of gets like resummoned every time. Very annoying minion, obviously, to deal with, because it's like a kind of infinite minion that it costs. What is also really good is, guys, it's not a minion that you draw again and it shovels. No, it summons. So it's not that slow of a card. It used to be like kind of slow, this mechanic, but this one is like you draw, it summons. And that's pretty good. Of course, you cannot attack with it directly, so don't forget that. But it's kind of decent. I don't think this is a card for Rogue. I don't really see it much in Rogue. I'm also thinking if there is like some synergy possible. Let's say you play the Necron Vial on this and you suddenly get 2 Death Rattles going. You shuffle 2 candles already in your deck. But can it be decent? And of course, we have like Death Rattle Rogue, what is a little bit of a thing now. The only thing is Nazad rotates, what is like big deal. You still have the weapon. I don't think this card is too good. I'm not sold on this. I will give it 2 stars. It's just not a card that fits into Rogue. Rogue cannot handle... it's 5 mana. It's 5 mana. It actually is kind of good for Rogue, then. It's 5 mana, 7/5, gotta be decent. I will rate it 3 stars. Because it's kind of strong for the stat line. It just doesn't fit any current rogue deck well. Next up, Sand Breath. Paladin card. Give a minion +1/+2. Give it Divine Shield if you're holding a dragon. So get 1 mana +1/+2 card with like a little bonus if you're holding a dragon. I really hope Paladin will get some like really good cards as well towards dragons mainly, that we can make like a dragon Paladin work. 1 mana +1/+2. How good is that? Like, it's not bad, but guys, it's 1 mana give +1/+2. It's just a whatever card. It's like, sure, maybe we can play this sometimes, but it's not gonna be like that insane of a card. It's like give a Divine Shield, give a little buff. It might actually be more of like an aggro Paladin card, to be honest, than a Dragon Paladin card. So I don't think this is that insane. I like the art a lot on this card actually. So I will say it's like alrighty. I will give it like 2 stars. Maybe it has like a little bit better potential. So I am not sure if there is like anything that you can like really do with that. But it's like okay. It's okay. 2 stars I would say. Candle Breath here. 6 mana card here for the rogue. 6 mana, draw 3 cards, cost 3 less while you're holding a dragon. Alright, let's see. Kind of like a little bit of a baby sprint in a way. Cost 3 less while you're holding a dragon, makes it like 3 mana, draw 3, what is like really good. 3 mana, draw 3. Oh my god, guys. That's some OP stuff. And there is one thing that Rogue is actually lacking a bit in like currently, and that's draw. Like Rogue has good tempo, good swing, everything. But one weakness of Rogue at the moment is it runs out of cards, and it doesn't really have the best card draws. So this card is good. This card is really good. The thing is, are we gonna play Dragon Rogue is obviously the question. But this card is good. You have Miras, but like Miras is also kind of like YOLO style and not like draw style. Like I'm just thinking, do you already sometimes play this without playing dragons? Like 6 mana draw 3 is also not so bad. It's like Nourish. I rated 4 stars. I think Dragon Rogue might just be a thing. So let's see. And Rogue has this potential the most to play cards like this as well. So I like it. Corruptive Breath, 2 mana. Deal true damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, it also hits the enemy hero. Ha ha ha. Hunter is getting Hunter direction, guys. Lot of cards that hit the enemy hero. Lot of cards that are forcing you to hero power. I like this. Hunter are becoming Hunters again. Hunter has like kind of lost his identity a bit in my opinion. Where it was always now becoming like mid-range style. It was value class. It was like Highlander now. But now we're getting cards like Smork style, so I like that. 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion is good, guys. It's like Dark Bomb to a minion. It's good. And then if you hold a dragon, I don't know though. Like, are there gonna be like Smork dragons in the game? Like, that's what Hunter needs. Hunter doesn't want 5 mana, 5/6 discover a dragon or whatever. Hunter just wants dragon hit face. So I don't know if we're gonna get these dragons. So we'll see about that. Like you have this kind of a smart card, and then you suddenly play like random dragon taunt minion that like can draw a card or discover a card, but it's like it just doesn't really do much. So I'm not really sure if this is like a card for Hunter. But this card is good. So I rated 3 stars. It's a good card. So yeah, guys, that was actually the first review and my first thoughts a little bit about the expansion. Quite some cards already revealed, around 30 cards actually being revealed, and we got quite a good direction already with a few classes. So I'm very hyped. Expansion will be coming out at like 11 December or 10 or 11 December, so in like a little bit more of a month. And I'm very excited. I think there are some really powerful cards. It seems very promising to start, so I really, really hope that will be good. I missed Nosdormu. So it will be exciting. Did they just reveal it, guys? Alright, one more card, guys, we have to talk about is Nosdormu the Timeless. The Paladin Legendary. 4 mana 8/8. Set each player to 10 mana crystals. What? 4 mana 8/8. That's very strong. Let me think about this. So, each player to 10 mana crystals. This card is real? The first thing I'm also thinking about with this kind of card, guys, is like, oh no, Evolve. Desert Hair, Evolve, or like, well, Evolve is gonna be going out, but like still Mutate kinda. It's a very good card as well to play this, like in general I would say. Oh, for Paladin this is good, guys. Set each player to 10 mana crystals. I think this card is good. Control Pally likes this, and it's very good against control. So you play this kind of in like a big Paladin, where you play this, you play like removals, so you can like after this remove the board, and then also you go for like big creatures probably. I think this card is like very good. I like it. Well, it looks good. We'll see, guys. It was not on the side as well, so I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. Another thing, guys, I also want to shortly mention. So, also something that got announced, and that will actually be playable in like 3 days from now, on the 5th of November, is Hearthstone Battlegrounds. Hearthstone Battlegrounds is coming, what will be another game mode available through Hearthstone. What will be kind of like the auto chess mode that we are getting into Hearthstone. As a lot of other chesses have already come out, and now Blizzard also just announced it already, and it is actually coming out like very, very soon, in like just a few days. What the Hearthstone Battlegrounds will be, there are a lot of like different heroes you can play, 24 unique heroes, and everyone has like a special ability, hero power, extra mechanic you can do. And what you're trying is, you're trying to level up your all your like creatures you're getting. Everything is like having a little bit of different stars. So you have 1-star creatures, 2-star creatures, 3, 4, 5-star creatures. You try to make the best team possible. You try to upgrade your team with like gold that is given to you. You try to spend your gold in a good way. You try to make your best army, and you fight other people like in the battle of the tavern or in the battle of the battlegrounds in an 8-player combination. So I think this is like, it's very comparable to auto chess, TFT, what people have been playing, or like a lot of similarities. And I've been actually really excited about this. I saw it yesterday as well. And I'm definitely also really planning on like playing this once it comes out next month or like this month. So we'll see, but I am actually very excited about it. And I hope it's also going to be like very good, and it will be like already in a few days playable, so it's going to be very fun to see, and I'm pretty hyped about it as well. A lot of things that come in it. There will be like a combat mode, there will be also a ranking mode already early, as on you play against 8 other people, or you play in a pool of 8 people, and will be very fun. I'm actually very excited for it, so we'll definitely try it out. So yeah, I like it. I like it, guys. And that was the review. I wanted to shortly also go to the Hearthstone Battlegrounds, but I will definitely follow it up, guys, the reviews of the new cards when there will be more cards announced. So I'm very hyped. I'm super excited for the new expansion as well. And also very excited about like the Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and I will definitely play it as well once it comes out. What is your first feel, guys, about the expansion? Do you feel is like the most broken card? What is the most broken card revealed so far? This card is so nuts, guys. The Druid card. Oh my god. Wild Growth for Druid withdraw. It might be a bit of sleep. I am also this card is so good. The Dragonbane. Oh my god, this card is good. This card is also very good. Alright, let's do some lettering.